Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Ruby and today we are going to explore a really important topic in educational psychology. J.P. Guilford's Structure of Intellect, the SOI. I know some students find this topic challenging, but today I'll explain it in the simplest way possible with practical, everyday examples to help you understand it better. Before starting, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, subscribe now and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any new educational content. You can check out the playlist Educational Psychology in the description below for other helpful videos, along with the playlist on educational philosophy, government educational schemes, policies, and daily MCQs. Now, let's get started. Joy Paul Guilford was an American psychologist born in 1897, and he became a pioneering figure in intelligence research. Guilford is particularly known for developing what we now call the structure of intellect or SOI model. This model was groundbreaking in its approach to intelligence, offering new perspective that expanded on traditional theories of cognitive abilities. Guilford's academic journey began at Cornell University, where he developed an interest in psychology. After earning his undergraduate degree, he went on to study at the University of Nebraska, ultimately returning to Cornell to complete his PhD in psychology. His academic foundation was built on both traditional psychology and a drive to explore new, uncharted areas in the field. His career took a significant turn during World War II, when he served in the U.S. Army Air Force. Guilford's role in the military wasn't directly on the battlefield. Instead, he focused on developing aptitude tests for pilots and other military personnel. He saw firsthand how critical it was to understand different types of intelligence and abilities, and this experience greatly influenced his later work. So what makes Guilford's legacy so influential is his challenge to the conventional view of intelligence at the time. Many psychologists then believed in a single general intelligence factor, often called the G factor, which they thought could explain most of a person's cognitive abilities. Guilford, however, disagreed. He believed that intelligence was far more complex and that it could not be summed up by one overarching factor. Instead, Guilford argued that intelligence was multidimensional. In his view, intelligence consisted of a range of distinct abilities, each contributing uniquely to a person's overall cognitive profile. This idea laid the groundwork for the structure of intellect model, which we'll explore in detail shortly. This model provided a new way to view intelligence, breaking it down into multiple interacting components that could be individually measured and understood. Today, Guilford is remembered as a revolutionary thinker in psychology, someone who broadened our understanding of intelligence by showing us just how diverse and intricate cognitive abilities really are. His work inspired generations of researchers, educators, and psychologists, and his model remains a critical reference point in the study of intelligence and cognition. Now, let us take a closer look at Guilford's structure of intellect. His structure of intellect proposes that intelligence is a highly multidimensional concept made up of 150 unique abilities. This number comes from Guilford's breakdown of human cognition into three core dimensions, which are operations, contents, and products. Now, each dimension consists of several subcategories, and combining these categories across the three dimensions give us 150 unique ways that we use our intellect. Now, how Guilford reached 150 abilities? The formula Guilford used was based on multiplying the categories with each dimensions. Multiplying operations, which have 5 categories, with contents, which also has 5 categories, with products, which has 6 categories. So 5 into 5 into 6 is equal to 150 abilities. In simple terms, when we think about something that is an operation, we apply it to a certain type of information, which is called the content, and produce outcome, which is the product. This creates a unique skill or ability. Each combination of operation, content, and product results in a different ability, giving us a total of 150. Now let us break down each dimensions. Operations basically means how we process information. Guilford identified 5 types of mental operations, which are cognition, which is understanding and acquiring new knowledge, such as learning a new subject. Number 2 is memory, which is retaining and recalling information, like remembering someone's name or a historical data. Number 3, divergent production, which is generating multiple ideas or solutions, such as brainstorming various themes for a school project. Next, convergent production, which basically means arriving at a single conclusion, like solving a specific math problem or answering a true or false question. The next one is evaluation, which means making judgments and decisions, such as deciding which book to pick based on its reviews. Now, coming to the second dimension, which is contents. This is basically the type of information we are dealing with. Guilford proposed that we process 5 different types of information. Number 1, figural. Information based on physical objects or visual. For example, identifying animals at the zoo, or recognizing landmarks in your neighborhood. Next, symbolic, which means dealing with symbols like numbers and letters, such as calculating prices or reading street signals. Next is semantic, language and meaning-based information, like understanding a friend's story or analyzing the plot of a movie. The next one is behavioral, which basically means information related to people's actions and emotions. For example, understanding someone's body language or recognizing if someone is happy or sad. Next, auditory, which is sound-based information, like recognizing someone's voice over the phone or identifying a familiar song playing in the background. Each of these contents represents a unique kind of information we encounter, helping us to handle and make sense of the world in diverse ways. Now, coming to the third dimension, which is products. This deals with the form or outcome of our thinking. Guilford classified 6 types of products that results from our thinking processes. The first one is units, simple individual pieces of information, like individual letters or numbers. The next one is classes, which is groups or categories of items that share characteristics, such as classifying items in a grocery store by category, fruit or vegetables or dairy products, etc. Next is relations. This means recognizing connections between items, like identifying relationships between family members or seeing patterns in historical events. The next one is systems, which means organized structures or sets of items, such as planning a day trip itinerary with activities in a specific order. The next one is transformation, which is changing or reworking information, like rephrasing a paragraph in your own words. The next one is implications, which means predicting outcomes or drawing conclusions, like guessing the ending of a mystery novel based on clues in the story. Now, let me give you a practical example of Guilford's model of intellect for your better understanding. Let's say you're planning a day trip. Here is how each part of Guilford's model can apply to this situation. In the first dimension, that is operation, you start by gathering information about potential places to visit. You use memory to recall previous trips you enjoyed, then practice divergent thinking to brainstorm a few activities for the day. Next, you use convergent thinking to decide on one activity. And finally, you evaluate the decision to make sure it's affordable and fits everyone's schedule. In the next dimension, there is contents. You are dealing with different types of information as you plan. You will consider figural content by visualizing the location, symbolic content while noting ticket prices, semantic content by reading information about the location, and behavioral content by thinking about the interest of those going on the trip. In the last dimension, products, the process results in different products. Here you start with units, which are a list of items to bring, arrange classes, which is grouping activities like sightseeing, dining, or shopping. Set up a system, which is a timeline of activities, and finally, make implications, which is predicting potential travel delays and adjusting the timeline. So I'm sure you understand now how Guilford's model shows us how we can break down even simple tasks like planning a trip into different mental skills and types of information processing. This gives educators a more holistic view of intelligence, helping to identify a student's unique strengths and areas for growth. Now that we have understood the theory, let us talk about the educational implications one by one, starting with personalized learning plans. Because Guilford's model recognizes 150 distinct abilities, teachers can create more personalized learning plans. For example, some students may excel in symbolic or auditory content, while others may be strong in figural or behavioral information processing. Next is encouraging creativity and divergent thinking. Guilford's model values creativity, so teachers should create opportunities for students to think creatively. This could be through activities that encourage brainstorming or generating multiple solutions. Next, broadening assessment methods. Traditional assessment often emphasizes convergent thinking, but Guilford's model suggested that we need broader evaluation. Teachers can assess students through projects, discussions, and practical applications to cover a range of abilities. Next, focus on cognitive skill development. Teachers can design activities to develop specific cognitive skills, such as memory or evaluation. For example, memory games can help students with memory operations, while evaluation tasks like judging story endings enhance decision-making skills. Next, cross-disciplinary learning. Guilford's categories encourage integration of different subjects. For example, combining science, and art projects can help students apply both semantic and figural content. Point number 6, fostering a student-centered classroom. By recognizing and valuing each student's unique abilities, Guilford's model promotes a student-centered learning environment that celebrates individual strengths and diversity. So that was all on today's class on Guilford's structure of intellect. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching and see you in the next class.